Hey everyone! Welcome to my channel. Before we start, make sure to turn on the captions so you can follow along with all the details I'll be sharing throughout the video. Today, we're taking you on an incredible journey to explore the 10 most beautiful places in Germany. From breathtaking landscapes to stunning historical sites. Get ready for an unforgettable adventure. We'll be visiting the Rhine Valley, the Black Forest, Rothenburg ob der Tauber, Neuschwanstein Castle, Berchtesgaden National Park, Lake Constance, Heidelberg, Dresden, the Cologne Cathedral, and of course, Berlin. Each of these places is packed with beauty, history, and charm, and you won't want to miss a second of it. So if you love travel and adventure, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on future trips. Ready? Let's go! The Rhine Valley. A place where history, legends, and breathtaking landscapes come together to create one of the most magical destinations in Germany. As I walk along the banks of the Rhine River, I can't help but feel like I've stepped into a fairy tale. The misty hills, the vineyard-covered slopes, and the ancient castles perched on rocky cliffs. This place holds stories that go back for centuries. The Upper Middle Rhine Valley is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, home to over 40 castles and fortresses, each with its own tale of knights, kings, and battles. Some of these fortresses, like Marksburg Castle, have stood untouched for nearly 1,000 years, watching over the river as it carried merchants, travelers, and even armies through the heart of Europe. But the most famous story here is about the Lorelei Rock. Imagine sailing down this mighty river in ancient times, surrounded by towering cliffs. Suddenly, you hear a song, a voice so beautiful, so haunting, that it pulls you in. Sailors believed that a mesmerizing siren named Lorelei sat high on the cliffs, her golden hair shining in the sun, luring them to their doom. Today, when I stand here, looking up at this 132-meter-high rock, I understand why this legend has lasted for generations. But the Rhine Valley isn't just about myths, it's also about flavor. The vineyards of the Rhine produce some of the best Riesling wines in the world, and towns like Rudesheim and Bacharach are heaven for wine lovers. Strolling through these medieval villages, you can taste centuries of tradition in every glass. And then, there are the castles. Burgeltz, Rheinfels, and Rheinstein, each one looks like something straight out of a storybook. Some are perfectly preserved, others stand in ruins, but all of them whisper secrets of the past. One of the best ways to experience the Rhine Valley is by boat. A Rhine River cruise takes you past rolling vineyards, charming half-timbered houses, and the silhouettes of castles that rise like sentinels over the water. It's a journey through time, a glimpse into the heart of Germany's history and natural beauty. So if you're looking for a place where history, romance, and adventure come together, the Rhine Valley is waiting for you. As I step into the Black Forest, I feel like I've entered a different world. The air is crisp, the towering pine trees block out the sunlight, and the winding trails disappear into the shadows. This place is more than just a forest, it's a land of mystery, fairy tales, and ancient legends. They say this is where the Brothers Grimm found inspiration for their famous fairy tales. As I walk deeper into the woods, I can almost imagine Hansel and Gretel wandering through the trees, lost and searching for their way home. The forest has an eerie silence, interrupted only by the distant sounds of birds and rustling leaves. But the Black Forest is not just about myths. It's also famous for its cuckoo clocks, a tradition that has been passed down for centuries. In villages like Tauber and Scenic, skilled craftsmen still carve these intricate timepieces by hand. Walking through these charming towns, I stop at a shop filled with beautifully crafted cuckoo clocks, each one telling its own story through delicate wooden carvings and moving figures. The Black Forest is not just a destination, it's an experience. Whether you're exploring its hidden trails, discovering centuries-old traditions, or simply enjoying the peaceful silence of nature, this place leaves a lasting impression. So, if you ever find yourself in Germany, don't miss the chance to step into this legendary fairy tale world. Trust me, it's a journey you won't forget. Rothenburg ob der Tauber, a fairy tale town frozen in time. As I step onto the cobblestone streets of Rothenburg ob der Tauber, I feel like I've traveled back in time. The colorful half-timbered houses, the medieval towers, and the winding alleyways, it's as if a fairy tale has come to life. This charming Bavarian town is one of the best preserved medieval cities in Germany. And the moment you arrive, you understand why it's one of the most photographed places in Europe. Every street, every building, and every corner looks like it was taken straight from a storybook. As I wander through the old town, I pass through the Planline, one of the most iconic spots in Rothenburg. It's that famous postcard view, a tilted timber-framed house, with a medieval tower in the background and two cobblestone streets splitting off in different directions. It's the kind of view that makes you stop, take a deep breath, and just admire the sheer beauty of the past. I walk along the well-preserved city walls, where you can actually follow the same paths that medieval knights once used to protect the town. The views from here are breathtaking: rooftops, church spires, and rolling green hills stretching out into the horizon. But Rothenburg isn't just about history, it's also famous for its magical Christmas atmosphere. No matter what time of year you visit, you can step into the Café Wolfart Christmas Village, a store dedicated entirely to Christmas decorations, handmade nutcrackers, and twinkling lights. As the sun sets, Rothenburg transforms into something even more magical. The warm glow of lanterns lights up the streets, the sound of footsteps echoes through the alleys, and for a moment, it feels like time has completely stopped. Rothenburg ob der Tauber is more than just a town, it's an experience, a fairy tale, a journey into the past. If you ever dream of stepping into a real-life medieval storybook, this is the place to be. Neuschwanstein Castle, the real-life fairy tale castle of Germany. As I stand before Neuschwanstein Castle, I feel like I've stepped into a dream. The towering white walls, the elegant towers, and the breathtaking mountain backdrop, this place is pure magic. Perched high on a rugged hill in Bavaria, Neuschwanstein Castle is one of the most famous castles in the world. It's no surprise that this enchanting palace inspired Walt Disney's Cinderella castle, making it a symbol of fairy tales and fantasy. This castle wasn't built for defense or war, it was built for a dream. King Ludwig II of Bavaria, known as the Fairytale King, designed Neuschwanstein in the late 19th century as his personal retreat, a place where he could escape into a world of myths, music, and medieval legends. The castle was inspired by the operas of Richard Wagner, especially the stories of knights and romance. For the most iconic view of Neuschwanstein, I take a short hike to Marienbrück, Mary's Bridge. From here, the castle looks like it's floating above the valley, surrounded by rolling green hills, deep forests, and the distant Alps. Standing on this bridge, with the castle in front of me and the stunning Bavarian landscape stretching into the distance, I understand why this place is called the Castle of Dreams. Neuschwanstein Castle is more than just a tourist attraction, it's a symbol of imagination, beauty, and history. Whether you're a lover of fairy tales, photography, or simply breathtaking views, this is a place that belongs on every traveler's bucket list. Berchtesgaden National Park, Germany's hidden alpine paradise. As I step into Berchtesgaden National Park, I feel like I've entered a world untouched by time. Towering snow-capped peaks, crystal-clear lakes, and dense forests surround me. This is nature at its most breathtaking. Nestled in the Bavarian Alps, right near the Austrian border, Berchtesgaden National Park is one of Germany's most beautiful and well-preserved natural wonders. Covering over 200 square kilometers, it's a place where wildlife, alpine landscapes, and adventure come together to create an unforgettable experience. One of the park's most famous attractions is Scenic, a stunning emerald green lake surrounded by dramatic mountain cliffs. The water here is so pure and clear that it reflects the towering Watzmann Mountain, one of Germany's highest peaks. Taking a silent electric boat ride across the lake, I listen as the captain stops midway and plays a trumpet call, which echoes beautifully across the fjord-like valley. It's one of those magical moments that make you truly appreciate nature's beauty. At the far end of the lake, I arrive at St. Bartholomew's Church, a charming red-domed pilgrimage chapel that looks straight out of a postcard. With the mountains rising behind it, this place feels like a hidden sanctuary in the heart of Bavaria. For those who love hiking, Berchtesgaden National Park is a paradise. One of the most scenic trails leads to Rothenburg Waterfall, the tallest waterfall in Germany, cascading down from a height of 470 meters. The journey through lush meadows and rocky alpine terrain makes the reward at the end even more special. But Berchtesgaden is not just about nature, it also holds deep history. Not far from the park is the Eagle's Nest, Kellsteinhaus, a mountaintop retreat once used by Adolf Hitler. Today, it serves as a historical viewpoint, offering panoramic views over Germany and Austria. Whether you're here for hiking, photography, or just pure relaxation in nature, Berchtesgaden National Park is one of Germany's greatest hidden gems. It's a place where alpine beauty, crystal-clear lakes, and rich history come together in the most incredible way. Lake Constance, Germany's stunning lakeside escape. As I stand on the shores of Lake Constance, A cool breeze brushes against my face, and I take in the breathtaking view, endless blue waters stretching out before me, framed by rolling green hills, charming villages, and the distant peaks of the Alps. This place is truly one of Germany's most beautiful natural wonders. Located at the meeting point of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, Lake Constance, Bodensee, is the third largest lake in Central Europe. Covering 536 square kilometers, it's a place where nature, history, and culture blend together perfectly, making it a must-visit destination for anyone traveling through southern Germany. One of the most fascinating things about Lake Constance is that it borders 3 countries, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Taking a boat ride across the lake feels like a journey through different cultures, each with its own charm. The lake's crystal-clear waters reflect the beauty of the surrounding landscapes, creating a peaceful and almost surreal experience. As I walk through the medieval town of Meersburg, I feel like I've stepped into a storybook village. The town is famous for its half-timbered houses, cobblestone streets, and historic Meersburg Castle, which overlooks the lake from a hilltop. This is the oldest inhabited castle in Germany, and standing at its walls, I can see panoramic views of the lake, vineyards, and distant snow-capped Alps. Another magical spot on Lake Constance is Maino Island, also known as the Flower Island. Walking through its beautifully landscaped gardens, I'm surrounded by thousands of colorful flowers, exotic plants, and towering palm trees. The island feels like an oasis of beauty and tranquility, perfect for a peaceful escape. For those who love outdoor adventures, Lake Constance offers one of the most scenic cycling routes in Europe. The Bodensee Radweg, Lake Constance cycle path, stretches for 270 kilometers, winding through charming lakeside villages, vineyards, and nature reserves. Whether you're a casual rider or an experienced cyclist, this route is an unforgettable way to explore the lake. So, if you're looking for a destination that feels like a hidden paradise, Lake Constance is waiting for you. Heidelberg, Germany's romantic city of history and culture. Nestled along the banks of the Neckar River, surrounded by rolling green hills, lies one of Germany's most enchanting cities, Heidelberg. With its majestic castle ruins, one of Europe's oldest universities, and charming Baroque streets, Heidelberg is a place where history, intellect, and romance come together. Heidelberg is home to Heidelberg University. Founded in 1386, making it Germany's oldest university. For centuries, this city has been a hub of intellectual thought, philosophy, and literature, attracting some of the greatest minds in history, including Johann Wolfgang von Goethe and Mark Twain, who once described Heidelberg as the last possibility of the beautiful. Walking through the historic old town, you can still feel the energy of scholars and poets who once walked these streets. The town is lined with charming Baroque buildings, cozy cafes, and bookshops, reflecting the city's deep connection to art and academia. One of Heidelberg's most iconic landmarks is its magnificent castle, which towers over the city from the Königstuhl hillside. Originally built in the 13th century, the castle has witnessed centuries of wars, fires, and reconstructions, leaving behind one of the most picturesque ruins in Europe. Inside the castle, there's a fascinating attraction, the Great Heidelberg Tun, the largest wine barrel in the world, capable of holding over 220,000 liters of wine. Stories say it was once used to serve wine directly through pipes into the royal halls. Another must-visit landmark is the Alte Brücke, Old Bridge, an 18th-century stone bridge that gracefully connects both sides of the city across the Neckar River. Walking across the bridge, I passed by the famous Heidelberg Bridge monkey, a bronze sculpture said to bring good luck to those who touch its mirror. Heidelberg is often called Germany's most romantic city, and it's easy to see why. Whether you're exploring castle ruins, strolling along the Neckar River, or getting lost in its charming streets, Heidelberg feels like a place where history and romance exist in perfect harmony. It's a city that has inspired poets, artists, and dreamers for centuries, and it continues to captivate visitors today. Dresden, the jewel of the Elbe. As I walk through the streets of Dresden, I feel as though I've stepped into a painting. The Baroque architecture, the grand palaces, and the majestic Elbe River weaving through the city all create a scene of timeless beauty. This is a city that has witnessed both great splendor and devastating destruction, yet it has risen again as one of Germany's most breathtaking destinations. Dresden, the capital of Saxony, has long been known as Florence on the Elbe due to its stunning architecture and artistic heritage. The city flourished under Augustus the Strong, the Elector of Saxony, who transformed Dresden into one of Europe's most magnificent cultural centers in the 18th century. With its opulent palaces, world-class museums, and historic theaters, Dresden became a royal residence filled with art, music, and innovation. One of Dresden's most iconic landmarks is the Frauenkirche, Church of Our Lady, a stunning Lutheran cathedral that dominates the skyline. Originally built in 1743, it was one of the finest examples of Baroque architecture in Germany. However, during World War II, Dresden was devastated by Allied bombing in 1945, and the Frauenkirche collapsed into ruins. For decades, it remained as a symbol of war's destruction, until the 1990s, when a massive reconstruction project restored it to its original glory. No visit to Dresden is complete without stepping into the Zwinger Palace, an architectural masterpiece from the 18th century. Originally built as a royal pleasure palace, the Zwinger is now home to some of Germany's most prestigious museums. Inside, I explore the Old Masters Gallery, which houses works by Raphael, Rembrandt, and Vermeer. One of its most famous pieces is Raphael's Sistine Madonna, known for its iconic angel figures that have been printed on posters and postcards around the world. For lovers of classical music and theater, Dresden's Semper Opera House is a must-visit. This grand theater has hosted some of the world's greatest composers, including Richard Wagner and Richard Strauss. Its stunning facade and luxurious interiors make it one of Europe's most beautiful opera houses. Dresden's story is one of triumph over tragedy. Once reduced to ruins, it has been rebuilt with love and precision, restoring its Baroque splendor and cultural legacy. Whether you come for its history, architecture, or art, Dresden is a city that will leave you in awe. It's a place that reminds us that even in the face of destruction, beauty can always rise again. Cologne Cathedral, Germany's majestic Gothic masterpiece. As I stand before Cologne Cathedral, I am completely in awe. The sheer size, the intricate Gothic details, and the towering twin spires make it one of the most breathtaking landmarks in all of Europe. This is not just a cathedral, it's a symbol of faith, endurance, and architectural brilliance. Rising 157 meters, 515 feet, into the sky, Cologne Cathedral, Kölner Dom, is the tallest twin-spired church in the world and Germany's most visited landmark. Construction began in 1248, but incredibly, it took over 600 years to complete. The result? One of the most stunning examples of Gothic architecture ever built. Looking up, I see thousands of intricate stone carvings, flying buttresses, and majestic stained glass windows that tell stories of faith and history. It's no surprise that Cologne Cathedral is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, drawing millions of visitors each year. Stepping inside, I am greeted by a breathtaking sight, the Shrine of the Three Kings. This golden, jewel-encrusted reliquary is believed to hold the remains of the three wise men, making the cathedral one of the most important pilgrimage sites in Europe. The interior is just as awe-inspiring as the exterior. The soaring vaulted ceilings, massive stone columns, and the soft glow of stained glass windows create a sacred and peaceful atmosphere. For those who love a challenge, climbing the 533 steps to the cathedral's south tower is a must. As I ascend the narrow, winding staircase, I feel the weight of history beneath my feet. Finally, I reach the top, and the view is absolutely breathtaking. From here, I can see the Rhine River, the rooftops of Cologne, and even distant towns on a clear day. Cologne Cathedral has withstood centuries of history, including heavy bombing during World War II. Despite the destruction around it, the cathedral remains standing, a symbol of resilience and hope. Walking through this sacred space, I can feel the deep connection between the past and present. As the sun sets, the cathedral takes on an entirely new magic. The golden light reflects off the stone walls, making it look like something out of a dream. Cologne Cathedral is not just a church, it's an icon of Germany, a masterpiece of human craftsmanship, and a place that every traveler should experience at least once. Berlin, Germany's capital of history, culture, and innovation. As I step onto the streets of Berlin, I can feel the pulse of a city that has witnessed the highs and lows of history, embraced change, and emerged as one of the most dynamic capitals in the world. This is a place where the past and future exist side by side, a city of historic landmarks, world-class museums, and a thriving modern culture. One of Berlin's most iconic landmarks is the Brandenburg Gate. Originally built in 1791, this grand neoclassical structure once stood as a symbol of division during the Cold War, as it was trapped between East and West Berlin. Today, it represents Germany's reunification and peace. Standing beneath its massive columns, I imagine the thousands of people who gathered here in 1989 when the Berlin Wall fell, celebrating a new era for Germany and the world. No visit to Berlin is complete without seeing the Berlin Wall, the concrete barrier that divided the city for nearly 3 decades. Although most of it has been demolished, parts still remain. Like the East Side Gallery, a 1.3-kilometer-long open-air art gallery, where stunning murals tell stories of freedom, resistance, and hope. The Reichstag, Germany's parliament building, is an architectural masterpiece that blends history with modern innovation. Originally built in the 19th century, it was set on fire in 1933, heavily damaged in World War II, and left in ruins for decades. But today, it has been beautifully restored, with a massive glass dome at the top, symbolizing transparency in government. Walking up the spiral ramp inside the dome, I get a 360-degree view of Berlin, one of the best panoramas in the city. But Berlin isn't just about history, it's also one of Europe's most creative and diverse cities. The streets are filled with vibrant street art, trendy cafes, and underground music venues. Areas like Kreuzberg and Friedrichshain are known for their edgy, artsy vibes, where abandoned buildings have been transformed into cultural spaces. At night, Berlin comes alive with legendary nightlife. From cozy beer gardens to world-famous techno clubs like Berghain. It's a city that never sleeps and always surprises. Berlin is not just a city, it's a story. A story of war and peace, division and unity, destruction and rebirth. It's a place where history is alive, where creativity thrives, and where every corner has a story to tell. And that brings us to the end of our journey through Germany's 10 most beautiful places. From the fairytale castles of Neuschwanstein to the mystical forests of the Black Forest, from the historic streets of Heidelberg and Dresden to the breathtaking landscapes of Berchtesgaden and Lake Constance, each of these destinations tells its own unique story. Germany is a country where history, culture, and nature blend perfectly, offering something unforgettable for every traveler. I hope you enjoyed this adventure as much as I did. If this video inspired you to explore Germany, let me know in the comments which place you'd love to visit the most. And if you've already been to any of these locations, share your experience. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more incredible travel content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Until then, keep exploring and keep dreaming.